What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of Asteria video. So, we haven't actually had a video on this in a while, just mainly because not a lot of people I know really play the game anymore on the Western side. I'm sure there's like a handful of people that still do. I haven't even, when I first started playing Asteria, probably like 2 years ago, I tried finding a Discord. I could not find even a Western Discord. Kind of like the Tales of the Rays has a Discord, where everything gets translated and everything. I've never been able to find one for Asteria. So most of my knowledge from Asteria has been through friends who can read Japanese and play the game, and just kind of clicking stuff on my own. So I figured I think I made a guide over a year ago on how to play the game, but there have been a few new people who have asked me, hey, can you make a Tales of Asteria guide? I'm not sure how much life this game has left in it, because we're already in our 5th year, getting close to the 6th year anniversary this year. So I don't know how much longer this game is really going to go, and it's kind of dated. The way some of the mechanics and menus, I mean, you can even just tell looking at the menus how kind of dated they are compared to most gacha games. Like, look, if you can see, as I'm sure you can in this video, it doesn't even fit the full screen top down. And that's because it's a 6-year-old game. But I'm just going to go over everything that I do know that's mainly important for you to play through the game overall. So let's look at the main screen first. This top one right here is just it's like the guild icon. I have my own guild, but I never really do anything with it. I don't even think I have 3 members apparently. Guilds don't really matter too much unless you're really going to be serious about it. So overall, I would not worry about guilds. This second thing right here, the little paw print thing right here, you can basically kind of like Tales of the Rays, you send characters out on orders. You can pretty much do that, and then when they come back, you get rewards based on what happened there. And then you can go ahead and send them back out if you want to. Pretty simple stuff here. And with the numbers, it tells you how long it'll basically be going for. So, for example, let's just go ahead and click this 2-hour one. The only difference is you obviously don't send a character out for it. I think it's basically to kind of be and you saw Rollo at the top there. It's kind of like in Tales of Xillia 2, where you sent Rollo out to basically do missions for you. The third one right here, kind of like Tales of the Rays, is your missions board. So anytime you complete anything, this first tab is all daily stuff. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what any of these are. So my best bet is, if you want to really be serious about completing all this stuff, take a screenshot of the text and find a text translator on Google or something. I know there's plenty of websites that have those kinds of things, and then you just get rewards from that. And then they also have other ones for events and stuff like that. So, pretty simple right there. You just get what rewards you can. Like I said, if you really want to make sure you get, every orb, get these 5 orb stuff and all these other materials, you'll probably have to screenshot and translate. Obviously, it says news here. This will just be all the different news you can look at. And then this Mew thing is the new event that they've recently added, that they've been working on for a while. And basically, all it really is you can get, different rewards by doing it, materials and stuff like that. And then we've got this, which is our new, bingo, kind of bonus board. If you complete them all, you get specific rewards and stuff like that. I've not completed them all. I'm probably eventually going to, screenshot translate these, just so I can figure out what each one of them are. And I think that's pretty much it on the main screen. So obviously this first tab right here is the home screen on the bottom left, which will just take me back here. And depending on where you are in the story, that's the character that'll appear on your main screen right here. I have no idea what I just clicked. Oh, this is the raid stuff for if you're in a guild. I have never messed with that. I know nothing about that, so I wouldn't even worry about that too much. Yeah, so the second tab is your quest tab, your actual missions that you go through and do. So let's go ahead and show off what's kind of on here. So currently I am in I believe it's the 5th arc of the story. They've had 5 years, so there are 5 complete stories to kind of go through, which it's pretty simple. You'll be in one of these little tabs where you have the different characters in each character story arc. And then when you click on the location itself, it'll show you all the missions you have to do there, and there are different skits and stuff like that. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, you've got your rank, which I am rank 320, which probably seems like a lot. You've got your rainbow orbs, which is obviously currency. I will say this, if you are going to play this game free-to-play, you do not want to do the first step. Every banner more or less has step-ups at this point. You do not want to summon on every banner on the first step because you will not get anything. It's pretty much 3% chance at a 5-star, and then the final slot on a multi has I think it's like 12% chance that the final slot will be a 5-star. So I definitely recommend, if you are going to summon on a step-up banner, save until you have at least 100 orbs, because that way you can at least get to step 3, and I think it's usually step 3 where you have a higher chance for something. And sometimes they guarantee stuff for step 5, so I pretty much say, you know what colors you want to go for, know which stuff you want to go for, that kind of stuff. But this tab right up here is how you switch your different arcs. This is the first arc, second arc, third arc, fourth arc, and the fifth arc where we're currently in right now. So that's pretty cool. Let's click on this book right here. These are just basically if you want to rewatch any of the skits that have happened throughout the story. This third tab right here is going to be your events and enhancing missions. I probably should have made this video a while ago because right now they have this thing going on until the 17th, which is 4 days from now, where you can basically... It's higher drop rates for everything right now. When they're gold like this, it means all the missions are up and all the drop rates are higher. And they also implemented something new I'm going to explain over here in a second. But these are basically all your normal events and stuff like that. Some of the stuff is dailies, like down here. You've got the, like, money mission. You can do each of the missions once a day. But then you've got, like, different events here where you can get different rewards. So yeah, let's go over what here. First tab right here with these books. These are the books you use to level up your character. So these are EXP books, so you definitely want to make sure you have a ton of these because you will be leveling up a lot of characters. Second tab here, these are for limit breaking your units. So basically how limit breaking works in this game is each character can be limit broken 3 times after you get the initial unit. So let's talk about 5 stars that go into 6 stars, for example. If you have a 5-star that can become a 6-star, you need to limit break. The first limit break will bring it from 60 to 65 in terms of levels, then 65 to 70, and then the final limit break will be 70 to 80, and once it's level 80, then you'll be able to awaken it, assuming you have the correct materials. So they obviously, right now, they have all the different colors up, depending on the unit you are trying to level up. You want to farm for that specific unit, and that goes the same for the books as well. Third tab here, obviously money, very important. I would definitely farm this as much as possible. And what's nice about this game, that unlike Tales of the Rays and some other gacha games, you have, what do you call it? Stamina refill items. You have these golden gels that I've got hundreds of because, you know, you accumulate so much over time. So if you ever are waiting for a time to farm, you know, you can basically do that. It's like, for example, like if I was going to farm for some money right now on the 250, essentially what you can do here is, so this check mark, the first check mark will make it so that your characters will use their mystic arts on their own. You don't have to worry about it. And the second check mark is it'll keep going until, it'll keep redoing the same mission, which I wish Rays had this. It'll keep redoing the same mission over and over until you run out of stamina. And what you can do is, see, I've got 226 of these golden gels. So if I wanted to really just have it farm for like an hour, I could have it be 5 gels. So whenever my stamina gets down to where it's too low to start the mission, it'll use one of these gels and refill my stamina. So that's really cool. And then obviously you have, what is it, 2, 4, you have like 8 team slots. I usually have one for each. There are some team slots where I haven't really messed with in a while, but most of mine are for different colors. Like this is my green team. This is my earth team. Well, I guess it would be, so it would be wind, earth. That's nothing. This is my fire team, water, light, dark, and that's pretty much it. Which is a very big necessity in this game. Unlike Rays, where you can kind of mix and match teams, in this game you want to have solo colored teams because a lot of characters' abilities support that specific color. And we'll go into team stuff in a little bit here. And then this final one here is for 6-star awakening. So there's basically an enhancement once you've gotten a character to 6-star, you use these materials to basically buff them even further. With I think they get another ability and they get another stat boost. So that's another way to kind of buff after that. Now let's go over to this tab real quick. So what this is a newly implemented thing. What it used to be before. So to get a character to 6 stars, you need what's known as a partner character. So, for example, so you would click in here, and then you would click on this right here. Right next to the character. No, not that one. So yeah, and then you back out of that. So these are all the characters you can farm for. So these are all the materials you kind of need for each specific character. And when you click on a said character, then you can actually search, well, not search, but you'll have that character to be able to farm for. And this shows you, they have a list here of like characters what they need, who you own that you need to farm up for. So as you can see for Jade, for example, I already have the 3 out of 3 I need for the Annis. I do need the, for Riala, I need to farm a few more Kyles. So basically this is how, I have 4 units left to make 6-star, and these are the characters I need to farm for that. And you need to farm 4 copies of each character. So you need the initial copy of the character, and then you need 3 dupes. So you're basically fully limit breaking a partner character through this event. And I'll show you what that looks like when you're actually looking to awaken somebody. But that's pretty self-explanatory there. But what it used to be is they would have timed things. So every hour from like, in Western time, it would be from like 7 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning. They would have each hour, there'd be a rotation of 3 or 4 characters. So you would pretty much have to wait until the specific character you need to awaken your character would be up, which was a pain. Because sometimes it would be like, oh, I gotta stay up till 4 in the morning just so I can awaken this character. I'm pretty sure that this is a permanent state. It says till the 17th, and it has double drop rates right now. But I think after the 17th, because it's open 24 hours a day right now until the 17th, and then after that, it'll go back to being that like 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. time wall. But it's going to stay like this, in where you can choose who you want to farm for, and you don't have to be like, oh, I got to wait for this specific Bond character to awaken this Yuri, which was a pain, and I'm amazed it took 5 years for them to learn that that was a horrible system. Now, this down here is another important thing. So once you've got a character 6-star and fully awakened, these are what is known as Bond characters. So essentially, you'll have a specific character you're farming for. It'd actually be better to show you in the character tab, but essentially, you'll choose the Bond character you want, and you essentially equip them of whatever rarity you pull. So like, for example, I assume for a Lloyd, you would need like a Colette or a Kratos or something, so then you would just go over here, you would click on the Colette, and then they have the different levels you can farm. I can't farm a level 900 on auto battle, but I could definitely do up to the 250, no problem. And you'll just keep farming until you get the specific rarity you want, and then it's a Bond character that can also be leveled up. So once you equip it to the said character, the more you level up the Bond character, the better the stats will be for that character. And then this 4th tab over here is the Mew mission I was talking about, where you can choose these specific materials that you're actually going for, and there are these like tickets you can use to farm that. Now this final tab over here is, they used to have this kind of on the main page, but right now these are just a different thing. So like Tales of the Rays, there is a monthly tower where you basically see it. This is usually where I get stuck. I might be able to get to 18 if I really, really try, but I cannot get all the way to, you look at these numbers. And you know what the funny thing about this game is? It's really hard to gauge what you'll be able to beat and what you won't, because obviously, as you can see, this top floor up here, floor 40, it says level 1520, but obviously your characters can only be leveled up to 80. So how do you just gotta kind of like realize that it's gonna be hard, and you're really gonna have to try. But yeah, usually I can make up to usually around floor 18 to get those rewards there, but I've been a little lazy this month with this. There is also, and we'll talk about this when we get to the actual summon banners, but I believe it's still going on for a few more days, where it's like 10 days, you get a free multi on this special banner. So I definitely recommend starting now and see how many of those you can get. I don't know how long it actually goes for. These are all previous kind of like events that you can farm and get some cool stuff from. I think there's some actual units you can get from them as well. Yeah, as you can see, there's a Suzu here you can get from this if you keep farming that. So if you're looking for free-to-play units, that's pretty good. Master of Elements, I don't really do too much, just because this is really hard. It gives you some nice stuff, like as you can see, you get some books here, and then, you know, as you do some of the higher ones, you can get some higher-end books and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool if you're really trying to do some endgame stuff. And this one here is really important with this book. So for specific characters, you pull on banners. As you can see, I have a few actually right here, where you'll get an orb essentially for completing a story quest for them. So let's actually go ahead and let's do that. I didn't actually see if there was a typing for this. There isn't. So we'll just go ahead and do this. Plus, it'll be a good way for me to kind of show off the combat for the game real quick. Just show you a little gameplay. Because I usually play on auto battle just because I can't read anything. But I will show how the game actually works. Okay, so this is a skip. We're going to go ahead and skip it. Alright, so this first part is your character is going to run along this line, and essentially you're going to run up to these enemies. You want to tap the screen right as you get in front of them, and that'll fill up your gauge right there. If you miss, you're going to take damage. Like, your whole party will take a little bit of damage like that, as you can see. I just wanted to show that off real quick. I always find the easiest way to deal with this is just leave that on auto. And then when you actually get to this is where you actually control your characters. So, obviously, because it's an older game, it's not as visually flashy as some of the other gacha games you might play. It's literally just character pictures down there. But I'll go and... So, basically, you're going to be wanting to pay attention to what appears above your character's pictures and move the characters on the screen according to that. So, let's go ahead. Let's start with you click Start. So, where the 2 red arrows are, that's where you're going to be attacked. So any characters you don't want to get hit, you want to move there. And you want to make sure the colors match up too. So you go ahead, you do that. I'm going to try and explain more, but obviously there's a certain amount of time limit you get. So your characters will then go and attack. And as you can see, there's an over limit gauge filling up. And when that over limit gauge fills up once, you can use a Mystic Art. It won't be as powerful. But if it fills up twice, you'll get a really powerful Mystic Art. That's pretty much it. My characters are overpowered, so obviously this fight's not going to be that hard. Next battle. So we get to fight again. So there are different icons other than where you're going to be attacked from that you'll see. You'll see apple gels. You'll see, let's see. So that defense one is where you'll have more defense. So a character you don't want to be hit as hard, you can move them over there. And then the attacking ones are the characters who will get a strength buff there. There's also another one, you'll see a little crystal above them. That'll fill up a character's over limit gauge higher. So, like, let's show this off right here. So if you only do this, like a level 1. See, there you go. You got, like, a regular Mystic Art. Now, if you let it fill up all the way, you'll get a full animation. Depending on how new the character is. Some of the animations aren't as flashy. But some characters, you get like a full animation. I don't think we're going to be able to show it off in this fight just because it's such a lower level fight. So yeah, most of the time you just, if you don't care about getting perfect, so you see you get apple gels from defeating these enemies, some over limit gauge stuff to kind of fill it up there. And then you can go ahead and turn that off when you get to the end one, so it doesn't start auto battling when you get to the fight. Alright, so let's go ahead, let's start this. Boom. Okay, so as you can see, there's a crystal right there. So Zello, well, I'm going to move Zealous over here so he gets the right color. So Sheena got that crystal, so it did increase her over limit gauge immediately. I don't think we're going to one-shot this. Because I do want to show off what it looks like when you get a level 2. We are probably actually going to one-shot this. Yep, he's done. Yuri didn't even get to attack. Well, Claw. That's an if you didn't know, that's an evil version of Yuri that got basically brainwashed by Lazarus. Alright, so we got an orb for completing that, and that's pretty much that. Early on, you'll get a lot of those missions, and then you get the second... It's kind of like doing a skill quest in Tales of the Rays, where you beat the fight, and then you get the second part of the skit, and that's pretty much it there. So that kind of shows off the gameplay, how that kind of works. Obviously, here's the big thing, and you're going to have to pay attention to this when we get to the party stuff. How you set up your team is very important. So let's go to this third tab here. I've spent enough time on that second tab. So this is your summon banners. So right now, this banner actually just dropped last night. It's a rerun. I believe it's a rerun banner from last year. I don't think this is a brand new banner. It might be. I'm honestly not sure. So you've got several banners up. It basically works in a step-up fashion. As you can see, most of these... Well, this one doesn't have a step-up. But if you look at all these other ones, they are all, you know, in the fashion of step-up banners. So that's why I always say, you know, try to at least... See, as you can see here, it says for this one, if you can get to step 3, it guarantees a 5-star in the final slot. So you're guaranteed a 5-star. Same thing with this one. It doesn't look like this one guarantees it. Doesn't say it about anything there. But a lot of banners do have guaranteed step 3, so pretty much banners start at 30 orbs for step 1 if they are reruns, and it's 35 if they're new banners. So this one, for example, is our newest actual banner. And we got I believe the first multi was a free one that they gave us for this. It was kind of nice. But it would have been 35, then 40 for step 2, and then 45 for step 3. So if you think of it that way, you're spending close to 120 orbs for a guaranteed 5-star. So that's why I always say save up till you have at least 120 before you think about summoning. Obviously, early on, people will want to summon faster, but there is plenty of currency for you to farm just in the story mode. There's 5 arcs of story to kind of go through, and I'm sure you can probably, between all that, you probably have enough to do at least, like, a full set of step-ups on one banner. But, obviously, you are going to have to summon a bit before that, because you're not going to beat even the first arc of the story just with a team of 3 and 4 stars. There's just no way. But they do have some nice stuff. Like, up here, as you can see, there are these different teardrop things. The red one guarantees you a 5-star. It has its own separate pull banner. It'll give you a 5-star. The purple tier you can use on any banner, and it'll guarantee you a 4-star or higher from that banner. I actually used it on this one, I believe, yesterday. And I actually got, let's see as it scrolls through. I think it was this one. Yep, this Ruka right here is what I actually got from my purple tier. So I went ahead and awakened him, so that was nice to get. And then the blue tier guarantees you a 3-star or higher. Those you want to kind of save up for a while, until there's a banner you know you want something on, so you can have like 5 to 10 of them, you know, 5 to essentially a multi of a chance to trying to get what you want. I have gotten 5 stars off a blue tier before, so it is possible. Alright, so that's it for banners. That's pretty much all that's really important there. Over here is where we're kind of, you know, a lot of people will probably be confused because there's so many buttons here, but we're going to go through them. Most of the important ones anyway. I don't think I've ever used this second blue tab for anything, but this first blue one is essentially how you set up your team. You kind of go in here and you can have all these team setups. And essentially how it works is you would go, not that one, you click on the right one, and it brings you to your full list of characters. And how it basically works is if you wanted a character off your team, you would just go ahead, you'd hold and click. Not that long because that'll show the, so you pull it down, pull it off your team, and then you pull something down here and put it up there. Obviously, we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and grab Milla back. Scroll down so we can find her again. There she is. I believe I had her in the second spot. And the placing does matter because, and I'm not an expert on this, but from what I understand, so basically you click on a character. So let's click on Saray, for example. Go to the middle tab and you scroll and you see, so as you can see here for both of his things, the first one it says hit and over limit. It says hit and OL, and then on the bottom it says hit. So hit units you want to have in the beginning of your combo. So they'll basically attack in the order that they're set on your team per turn. So the more hits you get up, the more damage your other units are going to be doing later in the turn. So this Milla and this Aizen are were known as finishers. So you want them to be at the back of your team. What's also important is to make sure you try and get a healer. This Zelos, I believe, is still the best healer in the game because he just heals everybody. There are specific units, like the Keel that I have on my water team, that will only heal a specific color, but this Zelos heals everybody. And then there are other units like this Saray, for example. He has a chance to heal, but he won't heal every single turn. So you kind of got to figure out how your team synergy kind of works out that way. But yeah, so that's what's important. Make sure your hitters are in the beginning of your team and your finishers are at the end. And I usually just try to put my healer in the middle for most teams. So that is a very important thing to kind of do there. So let's go ahead, let's back out of that. So that's for team building. This first orange tab is how you level up your units. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory there, so let's scroll down. Let's see if there's anyone I haven't fully... I have a lot of 6 stars, because obviously I have had my account for quite a long time. I'm trying to think who's actually someone I would need to level up, just so I can show it off. Is there anyone of real import? You know what? This Judith isn't going to be someone who could be 6-star, but we'll just show it off for the sake of it. So the first tab is just regular levels. The second tab is going to be leveling up the I'm so used to saying Mirage Art, the Mystic Art. Third tab is like EX abilities. And then the fourth tab, I think, is just overall stat increase for that as well. So basically all you would really have to do is you'll go over here. We'll use one of these Vesperia books because it won't cost me that much money. And then as you can see, it brings her all the way up to 65. Boom. Very self-explanatory in terms of leveling up. So that's it for that one. Let's back out of that. Go to the second orange tab. I believe this is for for limit breaking. So like, for example, if we click on Celsius right here, this is how you would limit break her. You need these specific materials, and these materials drop on those enhancing missions I was talking about, and then you would want to limit break them 3 times. I think we're actually going to, once we've gone through all these menus, I'll show the process I usually do for awakening somebody, because we'll work on that Jade, since I do have everything I need for Jade. Third tab is for your free-to-play units. So any 5 stars you can 6-star from like events and stuff, this is where you'll go to essentially awaken them. But I don't use free-to-play units too much because there's not really any incentive if you have a full team of like actual units. And then this fourth tab will be how you awaken your actual summonable 6 stars. So like, for example, I'll scroll to the bottom. As you can see, like I said before, I only have 4 units that I can actually awaken. So if they were max level, I would just go ahead and click on Jade here, and you would click on this yellow button here at the bottom. But I'm actually going to showcase how that works right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to back up, since I have everything I need for Jade other than him being leveled up. So what you would do is you would go to the first orange tab like we talked about before, and then these tabs, there are different tabs for like rarity and stuff. Like all the way at the end here, this is recently acquired. This one should be rarity, and then they have some other filters and stuff like that. And these bottom filters right here are for the different colors. So this is red. So then we would want to go to blue. I believe Jade was blue, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Yep, there he is right here. So you'd go ahead and click on him right here. Now we're going to have to see what materials to use. I don't like using the smaller materials because it costs way more money. This isn't too bad, but it's still like, what, 200,000, something like that. But we got 20 million, so we'll go ahead and we'll go with this. So it's going to cost 183 of those books. Boom, 65. Done just like that. Now we would go ahead and we'd click over here. I actually don't have everything I need, but we'll convert some of these 3 stars into, or some of these 2 stars into 3 stars. So you click this button right here, you'd awaken. That's the second limit break. And then what you can also do, if you don't have the materials and you don't want to farm them, you can actually convert your 2-star ones into 3 stars. So I could do that. Boom. And that's the final limit break I need for that. So you go ahead, you do that. Boom, you click on this. It'll take you immediately back to leveling because you have to level it up to 80 to actually awaken it. So now we get Jade all the way to 80. He is all set up. Then this will disappear because obviously you can't level it anymore. And then once you've done all the other leveling stuff, you would just click here. You would go ahead. You would click Awaken. You get this little animation. Now, free-to-play 6 stars have different artwork than Summonal, or have the same artwork that they have as a 5-star. And then summon, as you can see here, a summonable 5-star gets new artwork as a summonable 6-star. So there's that. Like most gacha games, when you awaken a unit, they go back to being level 1. So then you would just go back, you'd click the left gold button right there, and then you'd go back over here. You would click on what you want to use to level up. This is going to be like 400,000 gold. Boom, level 80. He's got some pretty good stats. Then after that, you would click this. If you have everything ready right away, you click here. As you can see, I have all the materials to awaken him again. I'm not going to do it here because this isn't a unit I'm specifically going to be using. But that's what you would basically do. It costs you 500 gold and then these specific materials here. So you need both kinds of materials. And that's pretty much when it comes to enhancing and awakening. So we're good with that. Actually, you know what? It'd probably be faster just to go ahead and click here again. I'm trying to think which ones are important. I think it's the second gold one, or a green one. So basically what you would do here, let's see if we can find someone who's double awakened already. You know what? Where is... I already awakened that Saray. I'm just trying to think, like, who is a unit I'm actually going to be actively using to actually showcase this with. You know what? We'll do with this. Oh, wait, no, that's selling. You don't want to do that. This is how you sell units. Ignore me on that. Don't click anything. I forget if it was... so the second green one is for selling units. Maybe it's this one? No, this is just to look at your units. So it has to be the... It might not be any of the green ones, actually. Yeah, it's not. Okay, and this is just the album. So you can look at every character, every version of the character in the game, which you can see there are a lot of versions of characters there. Oh, so it must be the red one. See, it's one of those things where when I don't do something for a while... Okay, so these are all to look at all your bonds. So these are the ones you can actually equip to your characters. And the second tab should be to actually equip it. Okay, so let's go to this Saray that's awakened, for example. This is the anime Saray where he basically armatized with all the elements. So basically what you would do here is, obviously you see here, I can either equip an Alicia, a Mikleo, or a Rose. So what I would do is, let's click Alicia, for example. It'll take me to the actual mission where I have to farm the material. So we would go here, we would click, let's just do the 200 one. It's going to be dark, so we would want to take our light team, which this is going to be a high enough mission, so I will be able to showcase some stuff. So you would click on light, we would go boom. I'm not sure if that's saying if my inventory is full, or it might actually be. Oh, wow, it is by like 150. All right, well, I'm not going to sit here and sell all that. So basically, you would just do the mission. It would drop either 2 stars or 3 stars. Let's actually click on a character that can actually equip them right now, because that's just a regular mission. The fighting will be the same as it was in the other stuff. So let's go to a character. No, not this. It was the third one. No, it's not the third one. Which one was it? It was the second one, right? See, I'm already mixing up which ones I would actually have to click on. So, I guess Alicia, for example. We already have Saray. So if I wanted to do that, as you can see there, that would be the stat boost that she would get for that. You would just click that, and boom. Now she has Saray equipped to her, right there. And then you can also choose there are certain characters who can get a second element added onto them as well, which is pretty cool. And then this fourth red one is, I think you just can sell... Yeah, you can just sell the bonds, which I obviously have to do because I'm maxed out. And that's pretty much it for all of the team building stuff right there. So let's go to this final tab over here. This first one right here, this red thing, is essentially where you accept all your gifts for the day. So you would go to the second top tab right here. And as you can see, I haven't grabbed my actual stuff for the day. So I would go ahead and grab that. That's pretty much the only real important thing here. I mean, you can look at some of this other stuff, but it's really not necessary for anything. Obviously, the second one, as you can see, is for paid orbs. Third one has some little, I guess you could call them like comic strips for the characters themselves. As you can see here, they have tons of comic strips you can look at, but if you can't read Japanese, it's not going to help too much. Most of this other stuff isn't really that important. The greenhouse, I think, is... Yeah, you can basically spend these points that you get from selling characters and other means to buy, like, auto tickets and different stuff like that. And then the only other important thing I can really think of right here is the bottom left where you do the transfer thing. I'm not going to pull that up because it immediately shows my transfer code. And I don't want someone stealing my account. So you basically just click in there, you'll make a password, and then it'll show you your transfer code, and then you just have to hold on to that. Unfortunately, unlike Tales of the Race, this does not have a linking system. But other than that, that's pretty much everything you really need to know about Tales of Asteria. And then this button up here, you can just switch to whoever's at the front of the team you were using. So if you don't want it to be the story character, you can switch it to that. Ranking up is obviously important because you get more AP and stuff like that. But I guess I'll show what the summon animation looks like since we did get that blue tier. Let's just use it on this one, why not? So you would click on the 3, even though you're not going to use 3 orbs. And as you can see, it would be right up here. You would click summon. Maybe we can get lucky for video summon luck. Nope, it's gold. So gold circle means 3-star. A blue circle means 4-star that has a chance to split into a 5-star. And then if you have a red circle, it is a guaranteed 5-star right there. It looks like we got far enough to where we got some rewards. Summoning does give you rewards, by the way. But other than that, that's pretty much everything. You know, relatively simple kind of guide here to kind of show how the basics of the game work. And through everything else, you know, it's just trial and error pretty much like I did. Unfortunately, I can't give you a perfect guide because I just don't... There's no guides out there that really keep up with the game, and there's no, like, Discord servers that I've seen that really keep up with the game. So this is pretty much the best guide I can really give right now in terms of what I know personally from playing the game for the last 2+ years. So I hope it was helpful. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down below if this guide was helpful. Throw this video a like if it did. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.